What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Trey with Ghost Tactical, and today we're going to go through a review of an LPVO, or a low power variable optic. This one is going to be the SWAMPFOX Arrowhead 1-8x24. And this thing has fastly becoming one of my favorite optics I have. It took me a long time to go get away from a red dot. I still do love red dots, especially on the battle rifle red dots, or my go-to was the EOTech 512. But I wanted to start getting into the LPVO game, and I've got several of them, but this is going to be on the SWAMPFOX Arrowhead. What I like about this is it is a 1-8. Now, will I typically use a 1-8? Probably not a whole lot. I don't do much shooting outside about 300 yards. But having the availability to get in that 8x magnification is going to be awesome. So before we kind of get into the specs and go through the review, remember, if you're new to LPVOs and you want to know more about it, check out the playlist up here. You've got what is an LPVO, how to mount one, how to zero it. The whole series is going to be up in this playlist right up there, so go check that out. But we're going to go over this Arrowhead LPVO from SWAMPFOX and talk about the different things. So the first thing we want to talk about is this is a second focal plane optic, which means basically as you zoom in, the reticle is going to stay the same size. When you're shooting at 1x, a true 1x, all the way out to 8x, that reticle is not going to change sizes. Some people like that, some people don't, but if you're looking for a reticle that's going to stay the same size no matter what magnification you're at, this is a second focal plane which will accomplish exactly that. Now, one of the great things that SWAMPFOX does is they include a throw lever. If you're not sure what a throw lever is, when you're talking about the magnifications, you can see this attaches right on there. It does not come permanently mounted, so if you don't like throw levers, you don't have to mount it. I personally do like a throw lever. It lets you go from 1x to 8x very quickly, or anywhere in between. But having the option of a throw lever is phenomenal. A lot of them don't include one, so you can find some aftermarket ones for all of them, but this does include a throw lever should you choose to mount it, which I think is a great thing. The next thing we're going to talk about are the turrets, and the windage and elevation turrets. They do lock, so you pull them up and you adjust them however you need to adjust them, and when you're done you push them down. And another thing about them is they are a zero reset, which means you can then take these off, as you can see here, and reset it back to 0. The reason why that's important is because when you take this, if you take this off or it gets banged around or whatever, sometimes it'll adjust. You can go back to the 0 and you know that that 0 is exactly where it needs to be because you set it back to where you want it to be. Now, the cool thing about this optic is the reticle itself. Now, the SWAMPFOX Arrowhead comes in 3 different reticles. They have the Gorilla BDC, which is what we have. I love a great BDC, which is a bullet drop compensator reticle. And it'll allow you to, on this one, allow you to have different holds from, 50 yards all the way out to about 800. Now, like I said, I'm not going to use it much more outside of 300, but it is nice to know that if I have to take that, my holds are going to be right there on the reticle. The other reticles that they offer are a mil and an MOA reticle. They're all great. It depends on what kind of reticle you like, whether it's a BDC, a mil, or an MOA. They're all great. It's a personal preference which one you like. I personally like a BDC because I like to go a lot of close quarter combat, and I'll be looking over the top of this, probably in close, but when I get in there, I know that BDC is going to be just fine depending on how far I want to shoot, but I have my holds all the way out to about 800 yards. Now, that being said, it is zeroed at 5,200 yards zero. I typically like to go to 36 yard zero. If you guys know about me, then you know that I've been using a 36 zero for a long time. But I decided to go with this, the 5,200, simply because they have in the back of the manual here, as you can see, it has the holds and everything for the 5,200 yard zero. Now, if you want to, you can zero it however you want to and refigure the calculations and all that with your holds. But it's automatically going to come in here with the holds for a 5,200 zero. Now, the great thing about this is it can be used with 5.56 or a 308. It's going to have the calculations and all of that for both. So let's take a look real quick at the reticle and see what you guys think. Now, as you can see here, this is going to be at a true 1x. And when I say true 1x, this is a true 1x optic. It's got a really nice field of view here at 1x, and we're just going to slowly kind of turn it, and we're going to get all the way out to 8x. I like the way this is. Now, would I run it at 8x a lot of time? Probably not. I'll probably keep it between 4 and 6x. If I'm going to use it for close quarters, I'll go 1, maybe 2x. Chances are I'm probably just going to look over the top of this when I'm getting into a really close quarter, like room clearing or something like that. But having the availability to go from 1 all the way out to 8 is phenomenal. And as you can see with the second focal plane reticle, the closer you get, that reticle is not going to grow and take up a huge part of your sight picture. Another great thing about this optic is it does have an illuminated reticle, and it's got 12 different brightness settings, and it comes in really nice. You can see here a nice bright red reticle that, like I said, it goes 12 different brightness settings. But the cool thing about this optic is it also comes with 2 night vision settings. So at night vision, if you're running nods or whatever, they're going to have 2 settings on this that are going to be night vision only settings, which I think is awesome, especially for the price. Something like this, you know, you would think it probably goes for at least $1,000. The great thing about this optic is MSRP is at about $489, but you can get them pretty much all day, every day for a little less than $450, and that is about half of what something that has this kind of options and this kind of specs. That's about half of what most people would say I would be willing to pay for something like this. So SWAMPFOX has figured it out. The glass quality is unbelievable. Yeah, guys, I am loving this thing. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. If you have a SWAMPFOX, let me know down in the comments what you think of it and if you think it is a great value. I think it's probably one of the best values out there for what you get for this optic. It is incredibly durable, very lightweight for what it is. And like I said, all the options that come, it is a fully loaded optic for you. It's illuminated reticle 1 to 8. It's got the BDC holds out to 800. It's got night vision settings. It's got the lock turrets. It's got the 0 reset turrets. Anything and everything you could possibly want out of an LPVO, it's here for less than $450, which is unbelievable. So guys, if you're interested, the link will be down in the description or in the comments below for something like this, the SWAMPFOX Arrowhead 1 to 8. It does come in a 1 to 6 and 1 to 10. Yes, it comes in a 1 to 10 if you want that. Other than that, guys, I'm really enjoying this. So thank you so much for watching. I hope we've given you a little bit of a review on the SWAMPFOX Arrowhead. I love this thing. Like I said, right now it's going to be my go-to LPVO on the battle rifle because right now it does everything that I could possibly want to go with it for. So yeah, I'm loving this thing. So go check SWAMPFOX out, and we'll see you soon at the range. Semper Fi.